Hello student, how are you? Today I am going to revise the lesson The Making of a Scientist, written by Robert W. Peterson. As I told you the author earlier also, and once again I am going to revise with you. So Robert W. Peterson was a famous American newspaper writer who later became a freelance author of a magazine articles. Okay. Now, he wrote with authority, particularly on the topic of sports and scouting. He was born in 1925 in Pennsylvania in the USA and died of lung cancer on 11th February 2006. Theme of this story: The Making of a Scientist is the story of a scientist named Richard H. Aberwright. So, what was the name of a scientist? Richard H. Aberwright. It is an interesting study of how Aberwright became a scientist. So, in this story, children, a boy without a father, how he became a scientist. After the early death of her husband, Aberwright was everything for his mother. So, children, when his father died, he became everything for his mother. He used to get top grades in school. Now, children, he was a hard worker, studious student, so his marks were always very high in the school. He used to get top grades in the school. At a very early age, when he was just in the second standard, he had already collected 24 species of butterfly. So, children, he was working on butterflies found around his hometown, and very large quantity of butterflies were found around his hometown, and he took interest in butterflies. At that time, the book The Travel of Monarch S gave him a thorough knowledge about the monarch butterfly. So, children, one of the book he was reading was The Travel of Monarch S. In that, he gathered a lot of knowledge about butterflies. And in the second year of his high school, Aberwright began to search an unknown hormone in the gold spot of butterflies. In later years, he discovered how a cell could read the blueprint of its DNA. So these were all his scientific work. And now, student, I am going to tell you about the short summary, the important points of the story. And let me begin with the first point: theory on how cells work. So our first point is theory on how cells work. Theory on how cells work. At the age of 22, Aberwright excited the scientific world with a new theory on how cells work. Richard H. Aberwright and his college roommate explained the theory in the proceeding of the National Academy of Science. It was the first time that this important scientific journal had ever published the work of a college student. So earlier, children, the college student work was never used to get published, but this year, children, he was lucky that the work of college students should also was being published in such a journal. And for Richard Aberwright, his first achievement in science started with butterfly. And for Richard Aberwright, children, his first scientific things begin with the butterflies. Now, he was fond of collecting butterflies. So, he was very much fond of collecting butterflies. He was fond of collecting butterflies. Richard Aberwright started collecting butterflies when he was just in kindergarten. He was also fond of collecting rocks. So, children, two things he was fond of collecting. One was a collection of butterfly was there, and the other was collection of rocks, fossils, and coin. So, four things to collect: collection of butterflies, collection of rock, fossils, and coins. He became an eager astronomer too. He sometimes gazed at stars all night. Mother encouraged interest in learning. So, children, his father, as I told you, he was no more, and it was his mother who encouraged his learning. Okay. Mother encouraged his learning. Mother encouraged his learning. Richard Abright's mother encouraged his interest in learning. She took him on trips, bought him telescope, microscopes, cameras, and other equipments. She helped him in many ways. Richard was just in third grade when his father died. Richard was her mother's whole life. They spent almost every evening at the dining table. Richard wanted to learn. He earned top grades in school. By the time he was in the second grade, Abright had collected all 25 species of the butterfly. So by the time he was in second grade, he collected all the species of butterflies. 25 types of species of butterflies he collected. Okay, when he was in the second grade only. Now, then his mother brought him a children's book called The Travels of Monarch X. And children, at that time, his mother, she gave him a book, and the name of the book was Travels of Monarch X. Monarch X are a type of butterfly. The book told how monarch butterfly migrated in Central America. So that book tell about how monarch butterfly migrated to Central America. It opened the world of science to the eager collector. Tagging butterflies. Now the fourth point is tagging butterflies. So the book invited readers to help study butterflies migration. Readers were asked to tag butterflies for research by Dr. Frederick, a current of the University of Toronto, Canada. Abright started raising a flock of butterflies. He would catch a female monarch, take her eggs, and raise them in his basement throughout their life cycle. Now, a country science fair was there. So, fifth point is country. So, children, a science fair was there in the country. In the 7th grade, he entered the country science fair and lost. It was a sad feeling for him, but it aroused the competitive spirit in Abright. For his 8th grade project, Abright tried to find the cause of a viral disease that killed all monarch caterpillar every few years. This time he won. The next year his science fair project was to test the theory that viceroy butterflies copy monarch because monarch don't taste good to birds. Averroes proved that viceroy butterflies do taste good to birds. So this also he found, children. Averroes proved that viceroy butterfly do taste good to bird, but the viceroy butterflies copy monarchs because monarchs don't taste good to the birds, and Averroes proved that viceroy butterflies do taste good to bird. This project was placed first in the zoology division and third overall in the country science fair. In his second year in high school, Averroes showed that the gold spots on a monarch's pupa produced a hormone necessary for the butterfly's full development. This project won him first place in the country fair and an entry into the International Science and Engineering Fair. Now, next point is theory about the cell's life. Okay, so this is the next point. The 6-point theory is about a cell's life. Okay, so Averroes got the idea for his new theory about cell life. He found out that the cell can read the blueprint of its DNA, and DNA is the substance to the nucleus of a cell that controls heredity. Thus, DNA is the blueprint of life. Now, other interest. Richard Averroes had time for other interests too. He became a champion debater and public speaker. He became a good canoeist. He also became an expert photographer, particularly of nature and scientific exhibits. He praised his social studies teacher, Mr. Wehier. He had opened Averroes' minds to new ideas. So he was very much influenced by his assistant teacher, social science teacher, who has really shown him and motivated him and shown him a path to success in science. Competitive to be the best. Now, Richard Averroes was competitive in nature, but not in a bad sense. He was not interested in winning for winning's sake or winning to get a prize. He wanted to be the best. So that's why he keeps on winning. The making of a good scientist was present in Averroes. He had a first-rate mind. He was curious. His curiosity in nature made him a good scientist. He had the will to win for the 8th reason. The book, The Travel of Monarch S, opened the world of science to him. He had never lost his scientific curiosity. Okay. So, children, these were the main points of the story which I would like to revise once more. At the age of 22, Richard II Averroes excited the world of science with a new theory on cells. Richard's scientific career started with butterflies. Averroes collected butterflies when he was in kindergarten. His mother encouraged his interest in learning. She took him on trips and bought telescopes, microscopes, cameras and other equipments. His father died very young and his mother became his only companion and motivator. By the time Richard Averroes was in the 2nd grade, he had collected 25 species of butterflies found around his hometown. His mother gifted him a children's book called The Travels of Monarch X. The travels of Monarch X children was the main source of motivation to him, and just because of this book, he became one of the greatest scientists of the world. The book describes how monarch butterfly migrated to Central America and opened the world of science for Richard Albright. He sent tag butterflies to Dr. Urquhart, the writer of the book. He grew cell from a monarch butterfly wings in a culture. Albright was able to identify the hormone chemical structure. He showed how the cell can read the blueprint of its DNA, the blueprint for life. Richard Albright graduated from Harvard with highest honor, second in his class of 1516. Albright had time for other interests also. He was a champion debater, a good canoeist, and an expert photographer. Richard Albright had great admiration for his social studies teacher, Richard A. Weyherer, who opened his mind to new ideas. Richard Albright was competitive but not in a bad sense. He wanted to be the best. The travel of Monarch S opened the world of science to him, and he never lost his scientific curiosity after that. Okay. So children, and now we will be doing, children, some of the important question answer of this lesson. So please, we will be discussing. Okay, some extra question answer, not the NCRT ones. How did Richard Albright excite the scientist world at the age of 22? Richard Albright was just 22 when he excited the scientific world with a new theory. It was on how cells work. Albright and his college roommate explained the theory in an article in the Proceedings of the National Academy of Science. It was the first time that his famous scientific journal had ever published the work of college students. There was one thing I could do: collect things. What did Richard Albright do in his childhood? Richard Albright was the only child. There wasn't much I could do that, but there was one thing I could do: collect things, said he. So he did while still in kindergarten. He started collecting butterfly. By the time he was in the second grade, he had collected all 25 species of butterflies found around his hometown. He sometimes did stargazing at night. So from this we can know he was a person with a curious nature. Okay. Richie was my whole life after his father died, said Richard's mother. Describe Richard's Albright relationship with his mother. What was Richard, children? It was due to his mother only. Richard was in third grade when his father died. He was her mother's whole life and her only companion until he started school. She and Richard spent almost every evening at the dining table. She found work for him and Richard wanted to learn. His mother encouraged his interest in learning. How did Richard Albright's mother was a source of inspiration and encouragement in his quest for learning. Richard Albright was fortunate enough to have a highly helping and encouraging mom or mother. She compensated the early loss of his father. She encouraged his interest in learning. She took him on trips, brought him telescopes, microscopes, cameras, mounting materials and other equipments. She found work for him and helped him in learning things and in many other ways. Why and where did Richard Albright send the tag butterflies? At the end of the book, The Travel of Monarch X, readers were invited to help study monarch butterflies' migration. They were asked to tag butterflies for research by Dr. Urquhart. Soon, Richard Everett was attaching light adhesive tags in the wings of monarch butterflies. He used to send them to Dr. Urquhart for his research work. Now, how did Everett basement become a home to thousands of monarch butterflies? Richard Everett used to send tagged monarch butterfly to Dr. Urquhart for his research work. Chasing butterflies one by one was difficult and he could not catch many, so he decided to raise some of the butterfly in his basement. He would catch a monarch butterfly, take her eggs and raise them, then he would tag the butterfly wings and let them go on. So his basement became a home to thousands of monarch butterfly. When and how did Richard Everett get a hint of what real science is? Richard Everett was in the 7th grade when he got a hint what real science was. Actually, he entered a country science fair and lost. He did not get anything. While every day else had won, it was a very sad feeling for young Everett. His entry was slides of frog tissue. He showed them under a microscope. He realized that winners had tried to do real experiments. On the other hand, he failed because he simply made a neat display. So that was the reason for his failure. Who was Dr. Frederick A. Urquhart? Why did Richard Everett look to him for fresh ideas? Dr. Frederick A. Urquhart was a scientist and teacher in the University of Toronto, Canada. He was doing research on butterfly migration. Everett sent him many tagged butterflies for his research work. Richard Everett looked to him for fresh ideas and suggestions. Dr. Urquhart sent many suggestions for experiments which helped Richard Everett in winning many prizes in country and international science fair. Why do Viceroy butterflies copy monarch butterfly? What reason did Richard Everett give in this regard? One of the Richard Everett project was to test the theory that vice butterflies copied monarch butterflies. Viceroy looked like monarchs because monarchs did not taste good to birds. Viceroy butterfly, on the other hand, tasted good to birds. So they tried to copy and look like them to protect themselves from birds. Were 12 tiny gold spots on a monarch's pupa just ornamental? What did Richard Everett prove in this regard? What honor did this project bring to Richard Everett? Okay. Many thought that the 12 gold spots on a monarch's pupa were just ornamental. But Dr. Urquhart did not believe it. Richard built a device that shows that the spots were producing a very important hormones. That hormones was necessary for the butterfly full development. This project was Everett's first place in the country fair and an entry into the International Science and Engineering Fair. And he became famous, world famous personality now. What lesson did Richard Everett learn when he did not win anything at the country science fair? Richard Everett was in the 7th grade when he sent his first project in the country science fair. Everybody else had won something, but he returned empty-handed. It was really a sad experience for him because he worked a lot for that. But his loss taught him an important lesson in his life. He realized that to be a winner, he would have to do real experiments. His project of merely showing slides of frog tissue under a microscope did not click. He should have done real experiment, and that is what real science is all about. So in this manner, Richard uh, got a lesson that how he should work hard, and he did work hard to become a great scientist afterward. Okay. How and where did Richard Everett identify the hormone chemical structure? After his freshman year at Harvard University, Everett went back to the laboratory of the Department of Agriculture. He did more work on the hormones of the gold spot. Using sophisticated instrument there, he was able to identify the hormone's chemical structure. So children, finally, this is the end of the lesson. Okay. Then there are many small questions which are important, that why he admired his teacher Richard A. Well Herrer, because he used to respect and admire students for his social studies teacher. He was Richard's advisor to the debating and model United Nations Club. Richard A. Weber was the perfect person for Everett, who opened his minds to new ideas. So all these things you have to read. So with this, children, I end my video here. I conclude my video here. Thank you and have a nice day ahead. Bye bye.